they've been like touring all over, like doing lectures and all this stuff. They did like a Broadway thing, even.
Weird. All right, it's technically 4 o'clock.
But I've been checking some of their
Are
stuff
we
out.
on?
We are live.
All right.
I like that.
I've been checking some stuff out online about, just watching them and shit. And, dude, they're hilarious.
All right. So yeah, it's sort of fun to be on the radio.
Hilarious. My games to crime. I wasn't really expecting it. Yeah.
So
But I'm
stuff's
sure.
pretty cool.
I mean, the thing about this is, what have we been talking about for the longest time? All we need is a little bit bigger platform, right?
Hey guys, it's Dandy from Death to Lefties. How you guys doing today? It's been an amazing week. Hey William, amazing week. And today we're going to have such a good time. Today we have my friend Isaiah on here, and we have a couple other people. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. You're not going to want to miss today. Stay tuned. So yeah, today's going to be so much fun. And that platform thing is important, especially if you have more than one. You get 2 or 3 and you're like,
Well, yeah, that's what I've been trying to say to Ben. Is like we have so much good, that we don't always have an audience to basically give joy and love to and grace. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it just is nice when the universe and the powers that be, open up their arms to you and give you this like amazing chance, and it's like, and that's the power of manifestation.
Yep.
What you gonna do with it?
That opportunity
And now
opens.
it's like, yeah, when it's staring you in the face, it's like it's hard to deny it, So if it's something you've been longing for already, what would hinder you from actually
30 seconds out.
going to?
And I'm going to ask you just to speak up. I don't know if people can hear too good because of the devices, how far they are.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Haven't you watched the videos yourself?
I watched one. I wasn't quite sure, So
The audio on it's great.
Is it? Okay, great.
Mean, the miraculous thing with cell phones nowadays is.
Alright, we're at the hour marker in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to KFUG Crescent City 101.1 FM and online at kfugradio.org. Community radio for Crescent City, Del Norte, and beyond. It's KFUG.
Well, welcome to DTL. It's a beautiful sunny day in Crescent City. How are you doing, Dandy?
I am amazing, Benny. How are you, brother?
Doing fantastic.
Oh, look at that smile.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It is, isn't it?
Well, with the weather.
With the weather. So I woke
Your
up
smile,
too.
too.
Your smile is just amazing. It is. But oh man, I woke up this morning at like 5 o'clock and I looked out the window and it was fog. I couldn't even see the fence. Like 20 feet away, I couldn't see the fence. It was just, I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So then as I woke up, I told the boy when he was getting ready for school, I said, hey, make sure you get to school safe, crossing the roads. He was like, why? I said, because it's really foggy out. He said, are you sure? And he opened the window and there's this light coming through. I said, enjoy school. Have a great day, son. And I'm really glad he did, So if you were up at 5 o'clock and you saw the wall of fog that covered Crescent City, I'm glad that it's gone.
Well, it's almost like a summer day.
It
I mean,
almost like a summer day.
That's how it is in the summer. Foggy in the morning, and then it breaks, and we get this beautiful sunshine.
Man. And let's talk about this community for a second, okay? Because last week, I saw this post, and one of our schools does one of the coolest things. I love reading. I'm encouraging kids to read and write. That's why I held the book signing on National Handwriting Day. Mm-hmm. I didn't say that before, and I apologize, but that's what it was for.
It's becoming a lost art, I feel like.
It really is. They don't even teach cursive in school anymore.
No.
They don't.
No.
And that's terrible. And I guess they're teaching now the text. So THOT is thought.
Well, a lot of these places in the curriculum, kids are working off iPads.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
And there's always
especially
spell check for 'em.
at the higher levels of education.
Yeah.
You know, these kids are going into classes.
Well, you know, the horrible
iPads,
thing is
and they're
technology has
talking
become,
to it.
Oh.
well, technology has become a thing where, you know, instead of us using it as, you know, a tool, you know, we've become dependent on it, you
Right,
know, and
right.
we can't function without it. And we need to understand that you need to function without it, and then know that electronics and devices like that are a tool to propel you even further.
Bring back math
Well,
without a calculator.
Yeah,
Bring it
Well,
back
think
without a
about this.
calculator.
Look, this is the-
You
this
get
is
that
one-
instrument, that Texas Instrument one, the little blue one with the solar panel at the top.
Yes.
You get that one. That's all you get. Pass the test.
Well, think about
And learn how to
it
draw
like this.
stuff.
Think
Yeah,
about
right.
it like this: is that we all used to remember every phone number of every friend that you had.
Yeah.
Like it was just in your memory Rolodex.
Right.
You could
Right.
cognitively hold all that information in your head. And now it's like we become this, you know, this robot that we carry in our pocket does all that for us.
well,
you
people
know,
can't
but-
even, you know, travel now without using GPS, even in their hometowns.
I got a road map in my car.
You know?
I do. I do. I have one of those road atlases in my car. So last week I saw that Mary Peacock, and I love Mary Peacock School. Nothing against all the other Del Norte County schools, but Mary Peacock, for every 100 books, they offer free ice cream at CC Diner. Did you know this?
Yes.
And then and so there was a couple of kids, and the moms are proud. I'm proud. I mean, the fact that a school offers this, parents are encouraging this. Kids are taking advantage. All we got to do is read.
Well, don't you remember
Right.
when I was in elementary, we had the Book It program. You remember that? Where you would read so many books, and then you would get like a gift certificate to
Oh.
McDonald's, or
Or
you would
Pizza
get free
Hut,
books,
right.
or Pizza Hut.
Right,
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like it was called Book It. And
My
you-
stepson used to come
they would
home with
have
that
book
stuff every
fairs
month.
They would have book fairs every month, you know, where we as kids could go, and you know you could.
Catherine
they'd show
Everett
you all
Elementary
the-
School in Modesto,
all the
California.
books.
Where were you? Where were you? I would have read so many books. I think Pizza Hut probably would have gone bankrupt. Oh man.
Giving
My
away
grandma, for my birthday, she wouldn't send money. She sent books. And I had every Wizard of Oz book that you could think of. I loved my grandma because she encouraged my reading. So in my room, all kids had like video games and stuff. I had books.
Yeah.
Man, what kind of kid are you? I'm a kid whose grandmother loves him.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
And want your imagination to bloom, because when you read,
Oh.
you visualize.
Yes.
the
Well, and I
story.
find it funny too, because
Yes.
my grandma has all the Wizard of Oz books, and those are the one books that she's carried. Like, you know, my
Because it's a
grandfather was in the Air
meaningful story.
Force, so
There's like 100 or more. I mean, they went on forever. Forever. Holy cow. They should turn that into a cartoon series.
They did. There's a Wizard of Oz cartoon series,
there?
I believe. I'm
gonna
pretty
have to-
sure.
We're gonna have to Google it. Hey,
Yeah,
Jake,
I don't know if they,
Jake, if you're
store
watching,
all
brother,
the
I need
I
you
don't-
to
yeah,
Google
yeah, I don't
and
know.
see if there's a Wizard of Oz cartoon series for us. If there isn't,
Well, that's what the.
I want you to find somebody to do that for us. All right? I love you, son.
Thank you.
He's my 13-year-old guru that I just like, here, connect this and find
Tech
this for
support.
me. Yes.
Yeah, tech support.
Wait, in the
Fact
beginning,
checker.
when I started the videos, I would just do it and record it and then walk over to Jake and be like, here, mix this down for me. So he would splice it and do all this stuff and put in the text, and it would like fade in and out, hashtag death to lefties. It would fade in and out, and I'm like, you're 12. This is amazing. I appreciate you. So he's my tech guru, you know, and I appreciate him tremendously.
Of course.
You know,
The next generation is
Cool.
We
It's all
got
about the roots.
Yeah, building that
Yes.
foundation.
Yes,
You know.
man. Rubik's cube. Kid can solve one in under 7 seconds.
So Mike say that. I can't say that word, but Cube,
Cube?
Ready Player One.
Oh
Seen
yeah,
that?
yeah. Oh, what a
Zemeckis.
the Zemeckis cube.
Yeah.
Yes.
Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah.
Talk
Time travelers.
about words that you can't say. The Ruby Vandervender. I could never say that forever. I used to call it the Ruby Vandervender
Yeah.
camp.
The
The Ruby Vandervender camp.
Vendaminder.
And when I was on my trip, my trip companion was like, "You can't say that. Look, pronounce it, Ruby Vandevender." Nah, I'm cool.
No.
Nah, I'm cool. We'll just keep calling it a toque.
Yeah.
And that's what a beanie is in
Right.
Canada. A beanie is a toque.
Right.
Right. So a little knowledge dropped on you today. Hope you appreciate that. If you ever go to Canada, make sure that it's warm when you go. 'Cause
Because it
It
gets
is-
cold.
it is cold.
I went there camping. It was beautiful.
Oh, did you go?
Well, I went to this little place called like Grand Lake or something like that. It was on the bend of, it's like right across from Detroit. I forget exactly.
Windsor.
But it's Cedar. No, not Windsor. I camped at this place called Cedar Pines, and it was gorgeous. It was like a little Key West community in Canada, if that makes sense.
Key
Yeah.
West.
Well, it had all
Key
those like
West in
cute little.
Canada. That
It had all
sounds
those like
amazing.
cute little shops that had the flip up, things like for hurricanes and stuff, and it was all beaches and really pretty, and it was a really cool town. Everyone was super nice. The second I talked, they were like, "You're from Chicago."
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
So, and then after I saw this thing about the reading program for Mary Peacock, the next day I saw this thing about this guy Dave McCormick here in town donated 107 bikes.
Yeah, I was doing that.
He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah,
He's my
Talk
next
about
door
a small
neighbor.
world and a universe,
Yeah,
right?
He's
Like,
my next
yeah.
door neighbor for 4 years.
yeah. Me and Dar were there. Handed out 8.
that's what you were doing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I did the yeah.
yeah.
We
And
went
he
around
does
and
this.
got
He
'em
does
all.
this because he's just that good of a person.
And he fixed them all up himself.
Yes,
didn't
he collects these bikes throughout the year, right? And then because he's such a tinkerer,
Well, and that's
that
it.
he wants to.
I gotta meet.
And that's the one thing
I
that
really
we're
do.
trying. Like I want to try to do is get like a program with kids to not only give them something awesome to do, but
Right.
also teach them how to work on bikes because when you're a kid and your bike breaks and you don't know how to fix it, that really stinks.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. yeah.
Unfortunately, like as people, grow older, like their time becomes, a little less able to be doing, certain things. So I think it would be great to get, more of the community involved in this, and
He's
You know,
such a
continue on this
tender-hearted man.
Oh.
that
Dave, thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. That just warmed my heart. The fact that
It
somebody
should.
just
should.
out of nowhere does something like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
They have no children, so he has.
yes, he does. He has 107 of them.
Yes, exactly.
He
Right.
has 107.
He has a lot of children that love him dearly.
So is
And
that
he's been doing this every year.
is that
Isn't
the
it just
most
a
that he's
1 year?
done so
One-
far? Is 107?
I think this was the biggest, and there was 107, but
I think there was
only
110 last
only
year, though.
88 got taken this year.
Oh, okay.
But there were some little kid leftovers,
Right.
which we left at the church.
Oh, okay.
So-
What church?
Well, we did it at Foursquare in the gymnasium.
Oh,
Yeah.
everything's done at Foursquare.
Yeah. Well, they also do
They do
an
so many-
amazing program where they for people that can't do laundry, they do a free laundry service at that Econo Wash.
Really?
I think like third Thursday or something like that.
Wow.
If you go to the FRC, they have all the information about great things and great programs that we have in this community. But yeah, it's amazing because I've met some people that are in fortunate circumstances, and they are dirty because they don't have homes and stuff like that. And when people like that try to do laundry, sometimes it's very difficult.
That's an
And-
amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I wonder if there's other communities in close or in the country that do stuff like that. It'd be nice to know. I have a lot of friends across the country, so if some of your things, if some of your communities do stuff like that, if they offer these kind of programs, let me know. Please, it'd be great. We'll throw your name of your community out there. That'd be fun. So. Oh,
Well, and that's
man.
just something that everyone should aim for as a community. I mean, it goes into the whole how nice is it? Like if you don't worry about yourself and actually help people, and by helping, you don't have to go out of your way. Say something nice to them, hold a door.
Yeah.
You
so
know-
what I always tell you, simple acts of kindness can change the world.
Mhm.
Just
One.
how you doing?
Yep.
You have a beautiful smile. I hope you have a great day. Just anything, you know, a handshake and a smile, even, you know, can change the world. You know, it's just people are getting pushed away from each other. I feel like nowadays it's like people don't. Maybe it's not that they don't want to interact with each other. People are so inundated with other things that they lose the sense of community. They'd rather sit in their house and not know their neighbor than like reach out, you know. Like I said with Dave, you know, Dave was one of the most amazing neighbors you could ever have, you know. He's one of them type of people, you know, that I strive to be like, you know, as an elderly man, you know. That I could carry on that type of tradition and help build a neighborhood that's strong with each other, you know, who we all get along, you know, and we all look out for each other. And, you know, it just starts with small little things like that, you know. And
We're going to talk about how we met. So I met Ben through Gateway Education. Ben and Zay have known each other since the beginning of time. And I met Isaiah through Ben at the community garden with Dar Caldwell.
Yeah.
Who does Gateway Education with us?
Yeah, because
What a small world after all.
Because we're building the kids' garden. And I was
Yes.
over there, and actually John's son, Dandy's son, was actually over there working with us.
Yes, an amazing.
Dandy had came after he went and did a video, I believe, and was just walking up, and Ben had told me about him prior to this, and I finally got to put a face to a person.
Yeah, same. That was
It
what a
was-
meeting.
And it was great. It was a beautiful day. It was nice out that day. Yeah.
Oh, Gateway
He's
Education.
just amazing.
Oh, isn't he? Oh, what a hugger, man! That kid is
we
such.
were at the book signing. He was just super excited just to see me. It was awesome. You know?
Yes.
It's nice when you grace children, you know, like that. And it's, you know, they reciprocate it, you know, and in the most openly way possible, you know.
Well, you know, the unfortunate thing is, you know, like most of the time, you know, it's all about, you know, oh, you have to grow up and you have to do, you know, and when you see kids and the way they really interact, that's the way we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be nice people. We're supposed to be open to,
Yes.
you know, and we're just taught to not be like that.
I saw a thing today on Facebook. It said, "Love is a great emotion. Love is a great feeling. Love is the truest feeling.
It's the only real one.
It's the only real one.
Yeah.
Like, if you follow with your heart, you're never going to go wrong. Once you start thinking about it, that's where the doubt comes in.
Mhm.
That's where all that negativity and that the questioning part.
Yes.
And we don't need to question. We need to accept, and we just need to move forward. It's supposed to be.
Mhm.
If it's not supposed to be, it's not going to happen.
Well, you know, we're human. We make mistakes, and the whole idea about making mistakes is, okay, cool, you made a mistake, but move on and become a better person from that mistake.
Yes.
Yeah, forgive yourself.
You know.
That's what it's about, forgiveness.
Yeah, and you know, it's harder for us. It's harder for us to forgive ourselves than it is for us to forgive somebody else.
Of course, you're your own worst judge, jury, and prosecutor.
And executioner sometimes in the worst cases.
In the worst cases,
And-
and it's hard.
Yeah.
And that brings up something too, really quick, is that there's a lot of hotlines. And I'd like to say this one about the VA hotline for suicide and stuff. We just lost a friend not too long ago who took his own life. And, you know, if it's hard for people to be able to reach out. It really is. So I'm not quite sure the phone number, and I'd like to look it up. I really would, but my device is being used. The 800 number, but it's on, you can Google it, the VA hotline, crisis hotline.
We'll get it in the second hour.
Yeah, we'll get it in the second hour for you. I'm a huge believer in those things. If I could be a spokesperson for one of those, I would love to be.
Yeah, of course.
My uncle took his own life when I was 4. You know, that's sometimes that's one of those things that just really binds a community as well. You know, these kids take their lives, and why? Because they were afraid to reach out, or somebody didn't see the signs, or somebody even worse was afraid to even speak up and say something.
Yeah.
You know, we watch people just hurt themselves, and we walk by and watch it. Why?
Well,
Because we're afraid. You know, in Japan, I love Japan. I loved it. The only thing I didn't appreciate about it is that if you help somebody and something happens to them, you are 50% at fault. If you're in a car accident, even if the other person hits you, you're 50% at fault. You didn't have to wake up that day. You didn't have to get in your car. There's choices. You didn't have to.
Right.
That I don't, and that's really kind of makes you walk that finer line of things and really kind of be more aware of your surroundings. And that's one thing I did appreciate about that culture, is that it really makes you appreciate your surroundings.
Well, it's also teaching you to use, your senses a little bit better.
Yes. But, yeah, heightened senses. You almost feel like a Spider-Man sometimes. You're looking around like, oh, in the military we have this saying, keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah.
Always looking around, always paying attention. And I was at my friend's bachelor party at Great America, and the sights and everything around, my head's just whipping back and forth, and my friend's dad said, "Are you okay? You don't have whiplash?"
I'm just on overload right
You
now.
don't have whiplash? I was like, no, I'm just excited.
Yeah.
Just excited. This is what we're doing. There's no alcohol, nothing else involved. I'm here. I'm having a great
full
time.
on.
Right? I'm on a full stomach. I just got done eating. But yeah, this community, and speaking of Japan, we had that tsunami thing happen a couple of years ago, and the boat came in, and now we have that sister city in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing program. They just came over not too long ago.
Yep.
Got to see our educational system. But I'm just going to pause. But to bring another community closer to home. So in Montana, there's, I have some friends that live there, and my illustrator for my children's book and my poetry book, they just got it. I want to see if I can kind of bridge something between us and Missoula, Montana. Missoula is a beautiful place. It's not far from the border of Canada. It's near some of the national parks that are there. Beautiful place. So illustrator, if you're watching, thank you. I appreciate it. To the mom of the illustrator, thank you for allowing me this opportunity. This is going to be a lot of fun. Really is. I can't wait to see some of these drawings. I mean, the artwork. I gave her the description of the characters for the children's book. Phenomenal. Like in quick. She gave it to me in an hour. I mean, this young lady is phenomenal artist.
Driven.
So
on her game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so to pursue that passion, is I'm all for it. I'm an artist. I love to draw.
I believe we all are artists.
In one way or another, yes, we are. Did you do pastels in the park?
I didn't do pastels in the park.
Okay, so I'm not going to be here this year for it. Ron, Kirsten, anybody else? I'm really sorry. I'm going on my trip. Will you do my pastel in the park for me this year?
I can do that.
Will you?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'll give you kind of what I would do, and then you can incorporate it into what you would do. So it would be
a joint venture.
Yeah.
A collab.
A collaboration.
Collaboration.
So we
Say that real fast.
Real fast. Real fast. I've been on a mood today. I tell you what. I just woke up with this sparkiness.
It's that sunshine.
Sparkiness.
That sunshine.
And so right before the show, I was walking into the garage, and one of my relatives was putting laundry into the dryer, and I said, "Can I ask you a question?" She said, "Sure." I said, "Where do babies come from?" She was like, "Oh my gosh." So that is my mood today. I'm feeling the vibe. And especially with the last week since the last show, a lot of things have happened in the community. A lot of things have happened in the world. We've gotten this 3-week reprieve. So our state parks are open back up. National parks have opened back up. Have we heard anything about the cleanliness of them yet?
I mean, you know my feeling on that.
I do.
I
do.
Is we all need to just take a little time, since we live amongst these beautiful places, and just pick up trash, even if it's for 5 minutes.
It irritates
honestly.
It irritates the holy balls molasses out of me. That's my own quote. TM trademark.
It's sad that it's honestly sad that we live in such beauty and we can't truly appreciate it.
And we can't volunteer to go pick up trash at our own national park that's in our country that we pay taxes for?
Yeah.
No, I got a problem with that. I really do.
You can walk around, you can drive through, but you know you're out there as a group picking up trash.
Well, you can't even get into Jed Smith. There was the blockade up, so you can't even go in there. And if you jump the fence because you see trash, well, you know you're going to jail.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, little suspicious.
Suspicious.
Those 60s people, you guys had it the right way. I'm really telling you, like that freedom of speech and the freedoms and saying, you know what, we're going to do this anyway. Certain aspects of that I all for. I greatly appreciate, because it takes a strong-willed person to say, you know what, that's wrong and I'm going to do this. It really does. And
Yeah, sacrificing yourself for the greater good.
somebody
Becoming a
dropped
martyr.
off. Somebody got arrested for dropping off goods in a national park for people. Did you hear this?
No.
Because they left something for homeless, or they left something for
Well, you know,
somebody.
It's
somebody
illegal to feed the homeless in some places.
Yeah.
Like like it's illegal to help people. Like that's a little.
Well,
yeah. I don't know. Like I the thing about it is too is if things are unjust, why do we allow it to happen? And especially unjust laws. Like when does it become there to protect us, right? But when is it protecting us when it's actually
hindering.
hurting and hindering our growth as a species?
Yep.
Like why is it bad to help people? I remember when I worked at Starbucks way back in the day, we couldn't give away all the pastries that we threw out.
He went corporate.
Oh yeah.
He was
yeah.
corporate.
He sold out.
I was corporate
Sold
for a little while.
Ben before was the biggest hipster on the planet.
I saw those pictures before the beard, before.
He had the curly mustache.
He did. He was
in it.
adorable.
He was mustache.
We're gonna have to get a
waxed
picture
up.
of that.
He
We're
was
gonna have
mustache
to. We have to
waxed up.
Photoshop a picture of me and a picture of that. I got some.
I could recurl the mustache still.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Pirate Festival this year. We got to do something fun. If I'm here, I just sent out that letter too.
Oh, you did?
I did.
So the Mama Tufo.
I did. So I still have it saved on my computer, so I'll bring it over. I'd like you to read it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. And I asked about the next 5 years and that time after. So
And I mean, really, they're really good about getting back to you. Like, that Buddhist organization is, they're very good at the reach out, like they always have their hand open, where if you're seeking knowledge or you're seeking, wisdom, they're definitely there for you, And I find, there's a lot of organizations out there like that are preaching good.
Yeah. Oh yes, there are. Yeah.
And-
Chow Yun Fat. That guy. Oh my! I have a new man crush. All right, I really do. Chow Yun Fat. So this guy, did you hear about this? He donated his whole entire fortune, $700 million, U.S. dollars, 5 billion Hong Kong dollars. Gave it all away. Didn't want it. Said that there were more organizations, there were more places that needed this money for good.
Well, let's hope he placed the money in
Let's
places that would actually do some
Let's
good.
hope,
Yeah.
because I know that Mr. Joel Osteen doesn't need another Lamborghini to pull up in front of a building.
I showed you what he bought, the Houston Rockets old stadium, and that's where he preaches out of. I've seen this thing the other day that to sit in the third section back from the stage is $2,500 a seat.
Okay, so
to sit in his church
That's
and listen
disgusting.
to him preach.
Yeah,
That's disgusting.
That's wrong.
$2,500,
Disgusting.
and the first two sections are sold out, and they're private like booths. Like you get a
Like season tickets.
no,
or something.
I would like to say something
Exactly.
that if this book thing goes, and when this thing goes, at the end of the year, if I have more than $5,000 in my account, somebody kick me, because I don't want this money. As long as my bills are paid, my family's taken care of, and I'm able to continue to do this, great. There's other organizations the libraries. Now, let's not even talk about organizations. Let's talk about libraries. We walk through a library, right? And I'm trying to do this signing and it's creaking everywhere. No matter what you do, people are at the computer, people are trying to study, research, and you can't walk across it. You have to levitate and become a Jedi. You have to become a Jedi.
Well, we are
and,
on
you know,
Endor,
astroplane it across this thing in order to do whatever it is, and so that you don't feel like you're burdening somebody. And I want to fix our floor. That is one of the biggest things. So if from this book comes the money to be able to fix my floor in my library, the floor in this library, so be it. I will call it a win. If there's other people that want to donate time, money, supplies, whatever, to help this, even in your own community, especially in your own community, if there's a way that you can get the eyes open that your floor in your library needs some assistance. There isn't needs some assistance. That's all it is. You can't WD-40 it. You might be able to just maybe pull up the carpet and throw some screws down. Maybe that's what it is. Right? Maybe the floor, maybe my grandmother built the floor in the 1300s when she first came over. Maybe she built that floor and the glue has worn out and the nails have rusted. Sorry, Grandma, I gave out your age. But there's so many other things. School programs, schools. What kind of things can our schools use? Donations. I mean, the budgets for schools get cut every year.
Well, and what kind of things will they actually use? I mean, that's,
if it's not a device, they're not interested.
Like the term reform school, I think schools need to be reformed. Personally, because they aren't schools, they're institutions. They're, I mean, I find it funny that you go to a school and you want to learn something and try to, explore, oh, you're in science, so, I really want to learn about, this in space or something.
Right.
And you go to try to learn about that, and they're like, well, why are you doing that? You have to learn this set of materials and only this set of materials.
Yeah, it's like, have you seen the Michael Moore documentary?
11/9?
It's no.
Oh.
It's about what America could take from all the other countries around the world that are like number one in education or like,
There's no money in that.
Well, so he goes to Finland and he sees because Finland's has the best schooling in the world, the best education in the world.
Jake, pack your bags, buddy. We're
And,
going to Finland.
These kids literally only go to school for 4 hours a day, and they learn how they need to be taught. They don't learn as an institution. They learn as a collective on their own basis.
So,
you know what I'm saying? So they forward the education and groom it to each child, basically. They have small class sizes so they can, really focus on each child and how they learn and, you know what I'm saying? And how they articulate information and, so it's like totally what Ben's saying. We don't need to change a few things in education and we need to totally revamp the whole educational system.
we do.
Because it wasn't designed to teach kids. It was designed to separate the family. That's what our education was designed for, was to take the children away from the mother and the family unit and keep them in this place, kids don't need to be inundated with that much information. Their brains aren't even functioning at a level to where they're comprehending all this information in the right senses, right? Like my sister is a PhD in educational psychology, and she really saw once she was in higher education, she was a dean at a noteworthy college, and she's seen once she became into higher education that these kids are not even ready for that amount of information. Your brain isn't even fully developed to the way you should be educated at that level until you're in your mid-20s.
I think I learned better now than I did.
Of
when I was
course,
a kid.
but this is what I'm saying. Your brain isn't even developed enough
Right.
to where you should be inundated with that much information, right? So that's why people that go back to school at older ages really soak it up and they're engulfed in it because they want to do it
Right.
too. You know what
Yes,
I'm saying?
yes.
It's like we build this stigma of higher education and all these things to literally inundate these kids.
Well, think about it. You know, in high school, you're told like, oh, you know, it's okay. Once you go to college, you get to pick all your classes.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, awesome. And then you're like, okay, getting ready to sign up for college, and they're like, okay, but you have to take these mandatory
Yeah.
classes, and then you can fill in.
Well,
and I'm like, so
And
wait a
if your
minute,
major is going to be
So
this,
this
you
is
should probably take these
high
over
school
here.
Right.
all over again?
Yes.
And high school was junior high all over again, and
Junior high,
junior high was elementary school all over
Just in
again.
different classrooms.
You know, the only real difference I
Yeah.
could see was,
Yeah.
you know, preschool and
I-
kindergarten, there was a difference, you know, but it's just, it's funny.
Well, I would really like to tell my son really quick, Jake, go ahead and get that paperwork for the foreign exchange program. Get it printed off, and we'll fill it out for you to go to Finland. And we'll get your passport set up, and we'll do all that. That way, when you start high school, you're already going to Finland, and then we'll get you one of those visas, a work visa, because I'm pretty sure there's a circus that you can work at. You're pretty good at juggling, right? So you can go to school, you have a job. We don't even have to worry about it anymore. And talk about what is that? Supporting your child, encouraging your child to follow dreams.
Yeah, and
Right.
now there's a lot of countries in Europe that are giving free university as well.
And he thinks that school's kind of boring anyway. I mean, he's a 4.0 student, does gate, does drums, does.
Well, that's the
Son,
problem.
let's
with,
get you into a program
with core
Well,
education.
that really you want to do, that strives and pushes you to be where you want to be. Because if this is too easy for you, then I need to challenge you.
Well, that's what happened when schools and the educational system went to core education, what they teach now, as far as curriculum. That's what happened. You have all these kids that already know these things by second or third grade.
Yeah.
They're already at that level because they're reading and having so much information available to them that no longer do we need to structure education in this way. You know, like it's perpetuating stupidity.
There was this kid when I was growing up.
We're welcoming in stupidity. That's what we're doing with that form of education. We're not even challenging the children anymore
No.
to
Well, your only
think for
challenge,
themselves.
Right.
your only challenge these days is to score high on standard tests.
Yeah, that's
You
what-
know, and the higher you score, the better, you know, your
And if you
chances
don't-
are to get into
and
college.
And if you don't pass this test in high school, then you don't graduate.
You know,
What?
Like this kid Morgan, when I was going in junior high, this kid Morgan in 7th grade was going to the high school to take math and science classes. In 8th grade, he was going to the junior college to take math and science classes. We wanted to hang out for the summer, but he couldn't because he was going to math and science camp. The kid knew what he was doing. He knew where he wanted to go. Do we, in this community, and do we still even offer those programs? I know at the high school here in Del Norte, as a freshman and sophomore, or I think as a sophomore, once you have a certain GPA, you can go to the College of the Redwoods, and do those classes, and they count for college and high school at the same time.
Nice.
My
That's
assistant coach, Christian Taylor, Christian, I'm gonna throw you out there, brother. Christian Taylor graduated from high school and CR at the same time, valedictorian.
nice.
that's awesome.
Like.
That's
And
amazing.
he assistant coached for me, and he worked, and he joined the Air Force, I believe. Like the kid is phenomenal, and when we have, but his parents also are amazing people. You know, they
It goes back to the roots.
right. When you have those parents that encourage great morals and instill great morals in their family, you're gonna have great things.
Mhm.
When you sit back and you just kind of, where's your kids at? Oh, I don't know.
Outside.
Yeah, they outside.
They're in their room playing video games.
Are they really? And you go to look, and they're not there. Where are your kids really at? Yeah, I'm not going to keep my kids under a thumb, but as long as they tell me where they're going.
Running around drinking energy drinks.
No. July 15th, I have not had one.
Good.
July 15th, I am
That's
still
bad.
still
It's
proud of
bad.
myself. Well, the fact
Hey, it took me a while to get you off of them.
I would
Starbucks
drink.
and energy drinks.
No, I never drank Red Bulls.
But
No, I couldn't. No.
But
like,
still,
mm.
I'm happy. I'm happy right now to know that you had energy drinks and you in corporate America. I am.
Oh well, you
I
know
am
the
this
energy
much
drinks
bigger
are
on you,
called
brother. I love you
Sparks.
this much more. I really do.
The
I
energy
just-
drinks are called Sparks.
Well, that's
So-
well.
so, I mean,
now I'm just waiting to hear
yeah.
you say. Back in the day, I used to love football.
No. I mean soccer. Yeah.
Soccer.
Well, that's what they
we'll
call
call
it
it
here.
soccer.
Yeah, that's
Oh
what
yeah.
they call it here.
when I first got to England, it was funny because there was this place called Globetrotters, and it's the hotel I stayed at for the first 2 weeks, and then I was a bartender there for 4 months. And my first night, I never forget this. I walked in, and they had this huge pull-down screen, and I was like, "Oh, soccer! What are you guys watching?" And the whole bar shut up. Everybody went quiet, and this guy was like, "Soccer? Where are you from?" And I said, "California." He goes, "Oh, you're a Yank. Oh yeah, let's watch the soccer." And I never sit down. Like for 2 years, the whole time I was there, didn't eat, no matter how much I said cheers and Nate and football and I even followed a couple of teams. Never lived it down. Hey, it's the soccer guy.
Yeah.
Hey, never living this down. Man, I love you guys though. England is the best. If anybody ever gets to be able to go, please check it out. I'm gonna kind of ruin it for some people really quick. So when I land, I was told by my upcoming boss that we lived close to Stonehenge. I was excited because everything I've ever seen, especially like National Lampoons, it's on a cliff, right? It's beautiful. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to get to see this beautiful, majestic thing. And he says, oh, and we're going to be going through town, so we'll be passing Big Ben. Amazing.
Parliament, Big Ben.
Right? So as we're passing it, I looked up and I'm like, oh, it's a clock. All right, keep going. And he goes, you're not excited? I was like, no, it's a clock. Like, who's excited about a clock? I got one in my room. Okay, I'm gonna name him Little Ben. I got one. He's Mini Ben, right? So as we're driving down the A303 towards Yeovil, he goes, "Oh, we're coming up a couple more, like a mile or so," and I'm excited. I'm sitting in the back seat. Kai's driving, and Larry's sitting passenger, and like I'm excited. And we come over this hill, and I look out. There's no view. It's in the middle of a field. Mm-hmm. There's a fence around it. You can't get close to this thing. My whole perception, it's a bunch of rocks in a field.
Right.
That's what it is now.
Yeah.
Right? And so I got to my hotel and I called my mom and I'm like, yeah, I landed and I'm at the hotel. And she goes, oh, really? I said, yeah, I even got to pass Big Ben. She goes, really? I said, yeah, that's a clock. She goes, oh. And I said, but I saw Stonehenge. She goes, really? I said, yeah, a bunch of rocks in a field. She's like, oh, you're not excited? I was like, nope. Can't touch him. I'm not excited at all.
I can't climb on them?
But what's funny is that after I came back just recently, I started doing some research for my book. And you read it, right? You read my book.
Yeah, of course.
And I Stonehenge is very powerful. The magic there, no matter if you're a believer or not, for thousands of years, Stonehenge has been that place, right? Why? Why has it been known as that place? So I did a little more research. I got into it. I threw it into the book about some of the things. And Zay, what did you... was there a character? I'm sorry, I'm really excited because this is my first interview about talking to get feedback from it. And before anybody already says, I know that there's a couple of spell errors, I'll fix that. I'm not a big fan of WordPerfect. The spell check and the word count's great, but the spell check, I'm not a big fan. I will fix that. I apologize. So anyway, excited. I need less coffee. Was there a character that you connected with, and was there a character that you just despised through the whole book?
Yeah. Oh, well, I can tell you who I despise first.
Yeah,
obviously,
please.
Because you always start with the negative.
Oh, yeah.
In this realm, we seem to start with the negative.
You want the good news or the bad news? Oh, give me the bad news.
Well, he's a crazy one, and just that innate hate, but very coy, and that's how the hate works, right? I mean,
I like that. I haven't heard it described like that. A coy hate.
well, it's just very smart. Evil is smart, and evil lies in very, very open places.
Yes. Yes, it does.
See?
Yes,
Evil
it does.
is very open and in your face, and loves to tap you on the shoulder, and where good lies in a very dark place, and truth lies in these very dark places, So I found that his character really represents that. You know what I'm saying? Because
Who is the
in
character's name? Can you tell me?
Azazel.
Oh, yeah. Azazel is one of those.
So in reality, he was all good with them, right?
Yes.
But deep down inside, where the truth was the very dark and evil. You know what I'm saying? So I just seen that, and that stood out to me.
Victory.
I feel like that's where a lot of life that we see today is at. People live in this realm, putting off this front of all this good and good and good, but where the truth really lies is in that dark,
Right.
in that evil that they really are. And I feel like I related it a lot to what is going on right now in our world, with a lot of people that pass us by, that take energy,
Yeah.
and
Azazel was not he's one of those characters that when you go through life, you meet certain people, right? And even though they have the best intentions, there's strings attached. And you can feel the strings. You can feel them, Really quick, I'd like to welcome my left-handed new friend. We just met this left-handed guy today as we showed up to the studio. Can you tell me your name one more time?
Jason.
Jason. So,
I remember Ben and
Isaiah.
you're Dean.
Dandy.
Dan, yeah, Dan. I was like, Dan. Just think go Dan.
So yeah, and then as I'm telling about it, it's like, oh yeah, I'm left-handed. So that's great. But yeah, Azazel was one of those characters that just, how do you accept somebody like that? How do you accept them with, kind of at an arm's length, knowing that there's strings attached? How do you accept that? And can you really truly trust this person?
Right.
So, yeah. In book 2, he's in book 2. We can't divulge anything else other than he is in book 2. And was there a character? So who was the character that you really loved, that you connected with?
In the beginning, it was different than from the end.
Funny how that works.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I relate to a lot of the story, because from that first intro, when Hector is his name? What's his name?
Hector.
Hector?
Yeah.
When Hector first enters with, what's his wife's name? Or the girl he takes with him. With the baby.
So when he
Yeah.
he takes the boy.
Yes.
Yes.
When
Okay, so he
the
takes
what's
the
her
boy.
name?
Corgia.
Corgia. So I kind of like Corgia.
The maid, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I can relate to that. She was like, all right, there's this baby, You know, who knows what this dude's doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have kids. I'm gonna take this baby, you know, and maybe I will end up having children. But if I, some for reason don't, I have this baby that I can care for, you know. And I know she knew where the baby came from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she was already on game. She knew.
She's
You know
already
what?
accepting.
Yeah,
Yes.
and she was like, "All right, I'm willing to give all of me for this,
Yeah.
for the betterment of this."
Well, and the life she kind of goes through and accepts.
I mean, really.
You know, there's that parent, there's that mom or that aunt or somebody in our life that takes that role.
Yeah.
You know, and what is it that what do they get from it, for one, personally? What satisfaction do they get from raising a child?
Well, that's what I feel like with her. She didn't
That's
need
right.
it. She did it selflessly. And that's what I related to me. You know?
And
That's what struck me, is she did it selflessly. And she's one of the only characters in the book that does anything of that magnitude.
Yeah.
That struck me, of that like selfless, heartfelt, just doing it because it's the good thing to do.
that was
It's
my
the right
dedication.
thing to
That
do.
was my dedication to those mothers and fathers out there that do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, a parent, a sibling passes, and we take responsibility for their children or nieces and nephews, and we raise them as our own. We adopt a child, or those stories where somebody steals a child from a hospital, or the reverse switch.
Yeah.
There was that TV show, Switched at Birth,
Yeah.
right? And the daughters were switched, and that one daughter was deaf. And then they find out later that that there was the switch, and the families become entangled, and
It's like Freaky Friday, right?
oh yeah, thank you, welcome Jason. Yeah, Freaky Friday. So
Off topic.
and then no, it is totally on topic. But you know, there's just those things, and then the left-handed. When we look at the left-handed part of society, Jason, thank you for joining us. The left-handed part of society is kind of a struggle. It really is. I had
Shut up, man.
I had one left-handed kid in my sixth grade class, Micah Giddens, and excuse me, Micah had to always sit at one end. Hey Micah, I hope you're joining. He wrote with a piece of napkin, paper towel in his hand, so he didn't smear his writing.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, I used to hate that.
Hated that, right? So.
Only left-handed. That only happens to left-handed people.
Oh yeah, and it's
Makes it hard to art.
But isn't it also easier to push the pen than it is to pull the pen to write?
That's a metaphor for life.
Ooh. Oh no! While you're joking, here in the States we
for
sit
real.
on the.
I'm serious. No, seriously, it is like, I mean, sometimes you push, sometimes you pull, but it depends on the definition of difficulty,
Push
right?
versus pull.
Right?
Oh, that's great.
Metaphor.
Yes.
I mean, I took it. It started off as a pun. Yeah, I'm trying to have a silly goose. I'm a goofball.
Good.
So,
Good.
yeah,
Well,
no, quick
I'm
intro.
Jason,
I
I'm
know you got. Yeah, hello, hi. I'm Jason. I'm Drupal.
Um,
I know you have more guests coming. No, excuse me. Hi, I'm Jason. I have a studio in the back, and also I've been here for about since 2012, I think. KFUG, radio DJ, and done all sorts of stuff.
a left-handed DJ.
Oh yeah. That's right. KFUG 101.1 FM, streaming live at kfugradio.org.
So we were talking a little bit earlier, and you said you were one of two lefties in the class. Right?
Yeah,
So
in grade school, I went to Catholic school though. I wasn't that huge, but then even in high school, it was like.
So they got away from beating, because you were a lefty.
Yeah.
So they don't do that as much anymore, or at all anymore.
No, it was more just like.
Those stories are
Elitism.
worldwide. They are. No, they are. They were
My
worldwide.
family went to Catholic school, and they used to get their ass whooped. Oops, sorry.
I
They used to get their butt whooped by the nuns on a regular.
I even watched your mouth. I should have gone beep beep.
I
I should have. We got to get one of those buzzers, right?
Yeah.
We got to get a
Get a
buzzer.
real loud one.
You sound like a fart.
Oh no! Don't tempt me. I'll
Don't
get on
tempt
my
me.
computer and on my laptop. I all sorts of sounds.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah,
That
goof
sounds like a
off
lot
and
of-
all that stuff.
Almost too much fun.
Incoming soon.
Yeah, so-
but yeah, I'm a fellow purveyor of Stoke, and I'm glad that I'm stoked that you guys are here. And,
Oh yeah. Well, and we'll be talking again soon.
yeah, for sure, 100%.
And again, Jason the lefty. And we have one other left-handed person in our community, in our
Yeah.
crew,
Yep.
in our crew.
Yep.
I call her the Toll Troll. She's one of the most amazing women. She is the left-handed guru in our group. So
Nice.
a shout out to Miss Sherry. We love you, sweetheart. Thank you.
Hey, lefties have rights too.
Yes, they do.
And
Yes.
Tori's a lefty.
Oh yeah, and her daughter Dory is a lefty. The quote of my business is helping those left be the voice for what's right.
Oh, there you go. See,
So
exactly.
and it's on my business card.
Exactly.
Um,
Cool.
so-
Yeah, hashtag.
Yes, hashtag
Okay.
Death to Lefties.
I
So
put
follow
the
us,
sticker
join
in.
us. Thank you, Jason,
Did you
for.
see that out there? Did you see
Oh,
that?
did you put it on there? Oh, so we got a hashtag. We got our
Yeah.
hashtag Death to Lefties on the KFUG
Oh,
radio.
yeah, and I
window.
should have brought my board in. I stuck
Oh.
it. I got one on.
Oh,
I
man,
stuck
that
it
is
on
awesome.
my surfboard.
That is awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Heck yeah. So.
No worries, be out there. Yeah, I'm on bookend your weeks with me. 6 to 8 Friday, 6 to 8, 6 to 8 Monday. Quality heavy music.
And is this your radio voice? Hey, this is Jason.
I have many voices.
Your radio Batman voice.
Inspiring voice guy. What do you? Hey, yeah, like
Smooth.
I gotta bring out my radio voices now, what do ya?
Nice to have you on there, Jason. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Over here, guys. Over here. So hey, thank you, Jason. So here in a few minutes, we're going to have a couple of other guests coming on. So our community is putting on a really fun program here coming up in September, I believe. I'm not going to give away what it is because
Oh, tease. What is it?
no. So you know that building where it's next to that thing that serves the food? It's not
Yeah.
going to be there.
McDonald's?
No,
Oh, Taco Bell.
no, that other place.
Oh.
It's not going to be there either.
Okay.
Hey guys, come on in, please.
Another place? Another
So,
place?
hey, come on. We got a
Incoming
couple of
guest.
chairs over here for you guys, so come on in and have a
On
seat.
just off.
Thank you.
Boy, Rick, you know,
Jason,
just
thank you
off.
so much.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, so we'll be back next
Yep, on
Thursday.
Thursdays. Thursdays
Positivity
from 4 to
Thursday.
6. Thursday 4 to 6.
Positive
Yeah.
Thursday.
Positivity Thursday, yeah.
Yeah.
When the hashtags
There
are
we
gonna
go.
out.
Yeah.
Hashtag Death to Lefties. Positivity Thursday.
Yep, that's it.
We should see if we can get a meal somewhere named after us.
Like a.
Is there any place in
All
town
left-hand
that
wings, only left-hand chicken wings.
ooh, but you have to have a left-handed beer to go with it.
Whoa.
Is there such a thing? I know there's left-handed chicken milk.
Well, pints don't have handles, so you're golden there.
And well, when you lift up a gallon of milk, why is the label right there? But if you lift it up left-handed, you can't see it.
It's to advertise,
It's the,
so you can show the people like when you're on a commercial. I'm drinking the juice from
I am
another
glad you got
hammer.
an answer. I'm glad. Thank you. So hey, you guys go ahead and have a seat.
Thank you. Pass the mic.
Oh, thank you.
So we have our librarian Shane from Del Norte County Library. If you guys can see him, great. If you can't, I really apologize. I'd like to get a bigger camera device.
And more lights.
And more lights, cameras, actions. We could probably open up a window for some light.
Oh, there we go.
We could.
I can backlight you guys.
Oh, sweet. So,
Not too much.
Yeah, that one's gnarly.
Shane and Sean.
Yes.
Sean. All right. So last week we had this amazing meeting. Shane, can you tell us a little bit more about what it is that is
Oh,
going
that's way
on?
better on the screen.
Yeah, we're actually in the process of, can't really say that we're doing a Comic-Con yet because we don't have an official use to use the moniker, but we are planning a Comic-Con type event. We will say that. And we don't want to really announce too much what we have planned yet because we
Right.
want to make sure that they are rock solid before we start announcing what events are going to go on during it, because we don't want to disappoint people if we say it now and they get there, it's like, where's this?
Yeah,
So,
correct.
yeah, so we want to be kind of careful about what we're announcing right now, but we are working on it.
So a Comic-Con like event here in Del Norte County. And what is some of the what is the reasoning behind this? Why would you want to do something like this?
Well, I'll speak on the behalf of the library.
Please.
One of the things is we wanted to do an event that hasn't been done in Del Norte County, and also tap into a demographic that we've been having a hard time tapping into, which is young adults.
Right.
You
Oh,
know,
yes,
and
yes.
young adults are into Comic-Cons and, you know, cosplaying and all that sort of thing, all those nerdy things.
Oh. Hey, I'm a nerd.
I'm a
I'm
nerd.
a self-proclaimed nerd. I've collected comic books since I was a fetus. I've watched every cartoon, superheroes, everything. I'm a nerd.
What was your first comic?
Web of Spider-Man #2.
Okay.
Oh, by the
Yes.
way,
Right? The original.
by the way, you're listening to KFUG LP Crescent City. This is Death to Lefties.
Thank you, Ben. Appreciate the
Is
raise.
that the bumper?
Yes, yes.
Top of the hour.
Top
Is
of
there
the
one
hour.
more too?
Ben, is it? I don't know if the short one
I wasn't
is
sure
on
if
or
we
not.
should-
No, he unplugged that one to that.
Oh.
Give me a second. I might be.
We can
Share the
Oh,
mic.
yeah, we can share the mic. No worries.
So we you know we're located downtown, and we've participated in the Downtown Divas Live from First Friday events.
Oh.
For about a year and a half now,
Okay.
and I know that they really want to see downtown be more alive, and I think with a Comic-Con type event, we can see a lot of people that haven't been coming to these First Fridays, and people from out of town come, because you know Comic-Cons can be pretty popular. So
Well, and First Friday has become one of those huge things. Coos Bay has a First Friday, and they walk the streets. It's a wine. Have you been there? Have you done
I've
it?
been to Eureka's.
Oh,
Yes, it
we
was
gotta go.
amazing.
Yeah, Old
We-
Town. Yeah.
Yes.
We got to go to the one
Yeah.
in Eureka, but the one in Coos Bay, you pay $10 for a glass, or you bring your own, and you go into these businesses, and they give you samples of wine, and you know it's really fun. And they don't give you a full glass; it's just a couple little sips or whatever. But you get 3,000 or 4,000 little sips, and you're having a really good Friday. That First Friday could last you till first Sunday, especially if you have the right group of people. So, but yeah, First Friday, and then downtown for First Friday is huge. And so, really quick, are there any other communities? Missoula, do you guys do a First Friday? I expect to hear from you after my show, especially you, Illustrator. So let's see if there are other communities other than Northern California, Southern Oregon that have a First Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah, please.
I know Medford does one, and I know Ashland does one,
Okay.
and I'm pretty sure Grants Pass does one
yeah,
too.
I
Huh.
think there's actually quite a few, because I
Yeah.
think when I was down south, at the beginning of the month, there was something First Friday-ish.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
happening.
I think it's
We're
just
gonna have
like
to
this
check this out.
movement of the
Yeah.
West here. I think it's like
You know what? We could totally West Coast a First Friday for a year. Hit a different town, just go road trip for a year, and just hit every one of them, and then maybe just do the online radio show because we'll be away.
Well, and just make sure we hit up, the southern ones.
and then make a
Uh-huh.
coffee table book about it.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yes.
coffee table book. I think that's
You
what my
haven't heard
quote
of
book is going to
You haven't heard about one of them in a while.
be. No, you have not.
It's gotta have good pictures.
It does. So we're going to quote this Comic-Con that Del Norte Library, and who else is incorporated in this?
So far, I'll hand it off to Sean, because
Okay.
he'll be able to explain a little bit more.
Yes, please. Thank
So,
you.
Yeah, thank you for the time. Yeah, so my name is Sean. I work I have multiple hats, honestly. I work at the school site, Del Norte High School, as a Gear Up advisor. I help students figure out what they want to do after high school, and that's kind of why I kind of synced in with Shane. Honestly, at this point now, you can do so much with your creativity and have your own job. So when he was talking about opportunities where students can kind of showcase their artwork, maybe showcase some 3D printed work that they're doing, some things with Magic the Gathering. I see you got a Magic Gathering.
It's not our shop.
So
It's a bunch of
It's not our shop. No, it's fine. I don't pay, but yeah, I have friends.
The
I'm
artwork
not-
on the cards.
I'm not that level in there yet.
Yeah, so I honestly had we have a couple clubs. Oh, we have a couple clubs at the school. We have a cosplay club, an esports club, and a any card shop club. All three of them wanted to be a part of this Comic Con, well, quotes Comic Con, because they want to, showcase their artwork, get their chops out there to understand what type of careers that they can have.
Nice. Oh, yes. Yeah, well, and today with the movie industry and all the YouTube industry and everything that you can buy on Amazon for every costume that you can think of. I'm really excited about this upcoming event. And so when's the next planning meeting?
Although the Facebook we'll post when the next meeting is. There's a group of that page, so if they go on that page, a group as well, and hopefully we can kind of grow this.
Late summer, early fall.
So we're kind of thinking possibly in September,
Okay.
Maybe October. It just kind of depends on how far we get.
So, yeah, please.
So between that time in September, we're really hoping to get some parent involvement or some community involvement. We're working with the high school to maybe get some volunteers so that we can kind of do smaller events up to this.
Oh, okay.
So for example, the cosplay club is looking to do fundraisers out in the community that parents who are of Del Norte High School can participate in. The esports club is looking for their parents to kind of show out as well. So if you heard your kids talk about some esports, kind of talk to them about this too. A lot of the high school, the principals are really hoping to get parents involved with this so that it can be a wider. Please go to the Facebook page if you are a parent of Del Norte High School, Crescent High School, any of the school districts out here. Please reach out and let us know that you're interested in this page.
Well, I think that's an important part to also make is a lot of people, they think, quote, Comic-Con, and they think comics. It's fandom everything.
Everything.
So
Fandom.
anything that you can be, like, oh, I really like this show, or I really like this, it's there. It's all there. And so there's something for everyone. It's amazing.
We could dress up as the three dudes from Friends. You could be Joey. Right? You could. Who's the other guy? Joey Chandler. Ross. Crap! Why do I always have to be Ross? And there's three of you.
I'm going as Dr. Gonzo.
The Muppet or no?
Oh, that'd be great.
Yep.
Well, and so I know that there's other people. You said the word esports, okay? And I will admit I'll be that person that raises his hand and asks, because there's other people, parents, dads, moms. What is esports?
Yeah, so it is competitive video game sports. So we are partnering up with different organizations that hope to be able to give us an opportunity to treat electronic video competitive sports as we would football or volleyball. So
do they have first aid on hand for some of these things? I mean, I know some of those thumbs will get torn or strained. Somebody's going to throw the controller, it's going to bounce off the floor, hit them back in the face. They're going to have a broken poke out eye or something.
Rage quits are real.
They are. Dude, trust me, I know. I know. I have seen them firsthand. So
we during the
online video game sport.
Yeah, and it's all honestly we do it before school, lunch, and after school. This is all kind of very new, so you're the first people to know about it. So don't really tell a lot of people. So
Tell everyone.
Tell everyone, right? Tell all your friends. Get them a part of it.
You're gonna have dad showing up at 5:30 in the morning, going, "You guys are late. You guys are late. I'm dropping off my kid, but I need to get to work, so give me the controller."
I hope. Honestly, we hope so. Yeah, because all of it is a family-friendly and honestly school-sanctioned games. So if any of you know about these games, League of Legends, Smite, Rocket League, I know if you don't know them, your students or your kids do. We're looking to kind of turn those students into kind of professional players.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, online players, not real players.
Real players and turn them into professionals. League of Legends players get somewhere between $10,000 to $100,000 prizes. Yeah. The biggest problem they have.
You know how Jason likes surfing. So back I know
Online
it still
surfing?
exists. No, I know it. No, like how they had the the Roxy House, where all the people that were sponsored by Roxy could just live there, and
Oh,
they
right.
have like Tekken houses and
Yeah.
all sorts of crazy stuff like that, and it's a real thing, and. I did not saying that like you should sit there and play video games all day, but at the same time, if you play a little bit of video games, it's been proven to help hand-eye
Oh
coordination.
yeah, no, I'm
You know
totally-
what I mean?
My kids can't play the first
But
Mario Brothers from Nintendo, but they could snipe somebody on Call of Duty like nobody's business. But they're running at this Goomba that's coming at them, and they run right into him. You got to jump. Jump? Which button is that? There's only 2 buttons.
There's 2 buttons.
Try both of them. You don't have the R1, the R2, the L1, the L3, L4, the kicks. You don't have 32 things. You have 2. Son.
Well, I will
You don't
say,
get to do anything
I
else.
don't
so
like
you can
playing
beat this
shooters
first
with the controller. I prefer the mouse and keyboard. But I will say you don't do technology too well.
No,
so
no,
yeah, yeah.
That is my kryptonite. I am going to learn this little board over here, but the only reason why I want to learn the board is because it's pretty. I see blue.
Are there lights?
There are lights.
Oh,
These
you
ones
like
over
lights.
here. These ones over here. They're flickering up and back like this. It's pretty cool.
The UV meter.
And then there's numbers on there, and there's a red light. But what's really cool is all the little dangly things coming out the back. And that's a technical term, dangly things. I can't get in trouble for that on radio.
We all have boxes full.
We
Hey, I thought that was like when you're a man and you're over 30, you have like a box of random cords and stuff.
You-
You have to.
You're
30?
supposed at 30.
Now.
You're way ahead of the curve.
Oh, no.
You
Only
you
here.
just-
I literally have a suitcase full, so I brought one with me to California.
You can take this whole year off. You don't have to do nothing. You can just be like, nope, my box is ready. In fact, I'm going to wrap it for myself and put it under my birthday tree for next year.
You know what? I'm excited about that. I'm going to do the same exact thing. Because at this point, I give my prize to myself, Matt.
Does Birthday Claus bring you the things that you want to?
Yes, he does.
Oh
all the
my
time,
gosh.
Right?
Birthday Claus, Easter Claus, Halloween Claus, it's amazing how many clauses there are.
Just randomly show up at the time.
Especially legally, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I'm a huge believer in the clause.
Technical terms.
Technical terms. So we have the Comic-Con for Del Norte County, and it's sponsored by, is it sponsored by the library?
Well, we're working on the funding for that right
Okay.
now.
But you're definitely the voice and the face
Yeah.
of the
Yeah,
thing for right now.
definitely.
That's the backbone.
And that's
The
the
library is the backbone.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, well, the reason why I got this idea is lots of libraries are doing it across the nation.
Oh.
I went
okay.
to the one in Medford a couple of years ago, and I just seeing the amount of people go to it, and seeing how many blocks they shut down for just this event. I think it was 3 to 4 blocks
Wow.
for
Nice.
this event, so it wasn't just in the library.
That's
It's like,
awesome.
I don't know if we're gonna have a big event like that, but we'll start somewhere and we'll build upon it. And
Yeah.
I think if people really enjoy it, we'll continue it, and it'll just get bigger and bigger.
You gotta plant a seed.
Yeah.
You have to plant a seed in order for something to grow.
Yes. Well, and you have to nurture it and water it and not step on it. Don't let the dog pee on
Don't
it.
step on
Yeah.
it.
Put up a little fence around it, maybe.
Yeah.
Turn it into Stonehenge.
He was talking about esports. I was thinking, how is that going to change when VR becomes more and more a thing? You see
Oh.
people actually.
Yeah.
doing
Kick,
stuff.
punch.
Well, Ready Player
Ready
One.
Player One,
I think
yeah.
Ready Player One got us ready for it, right? So there was Close Encounters of the Third Kind that started getting us ready for the alien invasion. It's already coming. We already know. There was.
Love it.
And they're already here. What?
You can't tell me some of those cloud formations aren't. We've seen them. We know what we're talking about.
Hey. Tupac performed at Coachella. I've seen some holograms before.
I
wasn't there personally.
Is it really a hologram if you can touch it? I mean, just because the light's shining on it doesn't mean it's so much a hologram. What is?
Did he perform with Elvis too?
He did.
Really?
I don't know if it's Presley, but
Oh.
but that's great that I'm really glad that that our community is following maybe in some of the other footsteps of bigger communities to be able to bring some of those things so that some of our families don't have to drive 7 hours to go do something.
Yeah.
They've got it right here. And like I said on our first show, everything everything the world has, Del Norte County can offer. We just need to open up our minds and our hearts and really do something. There's no reason why we can't be a metropolis
Well, we just
with
need
a
people
in a
involved.
smaller community.
We have a beautiful infrastructure already. We just
Yeah.
have to, polish it up.
Involvement. Yeah,
Yep.
involvement.
Clean,
That's all
clean it
takes.
up.
And the term polish a turd and it's still a turd does not apply. Because, with this community, Saturday, I don't know if anybody's interested, but Saturday, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start at the Beachcomber, all the way to the south end of town. And I'm just gonna pick up trash all the way along the road and
South
along the beach, along South Beach, right there along 101.
Yeah.
If anybody's interested in joining me, I'll be out there at about 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't care if it's raining or not, I'll be out there. I have an umbrella,
And a raincoat.
and a raincoat, something warm. But somebody told me the other day that they were driving in, and it, as pretty as Crescent City is, the entrance into it is terrible.
Yeah, and I mean, look,
Terrible.
just last year, I think they had that big community cleanup there on the right-hand side of the road.
Yeah,
They cleaned all that out and cut down all that underbrush and did all that. And, maybe we just need to, go out there and do like what
Yeah.
you said.
well, I've done the school. I've done 2
I was
weeks.
with you.
Yeah, you helped us out. Oh yeah, you were. So again, I get excited. So we did Crescent Elk, and we've done Joe Hamilton.
Yeah, that's the one kitty corner from where you live.
Yes,
Right. Yeah.
And then so this Saturday, I think I want to do the beach walk, and then the following Saturday, I think I'm going to go down to Best Maxwell. I think I'll go down there and clean up Best Maxwell. My nieces used to go there. My kids used to go there. It's a great school. Mary Peacock, you're coming. Just wait. Give me a second. But I don't know what it is. I get excited about picking up trash. I get excited about vacuuming. I don't like things under my feet that inhibit the connection I have with, especially if it's the earth. Gateway Education teaches us to take your shoes off and have that grounding, have that connection. And I found a 50-pound heart rock. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Found a 50-pound heart rock that I carried 90 yards and then 40 feet up a cliff. Yep. And I use it for yoga. My cousins acquired it too because it's a headstone. We lost a dear family pet, and so they decorated it. But still, it's a great connection. And when you have a connection, you find a place and you're able to feel an energy and really kind of push forward. If you're having a bad day, I'm a huge believer in meditation. Positive thoughts, positive influence. When you receive it, you breathe with it and it allows you to grow. This community just needs to meditate for a minute. It needs to recharge. It needs to take its shoes off and connect with the ground. And the ground, unfortunately, right now is the people. The community is not connecting with the people the way it should. And it needs to. So thank you, Shane, and thank you, Sean, for allowing the library to really take its shoes off and connect with the people. Because that's how Del Norte County is going to really grow and flourish. And the next generation coming up is going to get excited.
I couldn't say it better. When I work with the students, I try to explain to them what can you do to build your resume for scholarship to get into schools. It's building to your community. Colleges, anywhere you go to, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you go to military, 2 year. All of them want to see that you have a connection on the ground to the people who you want to say you want to serve, the people who you want to get an education for, influence.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to the USS Laboon really quick out of Norfolk, Virginia. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. So even if you're parents of students in high school, you're worrying about what your students can do after high school, ask them what they're doing now. What are you doing to connect to your community so that they can have a purpose in going to school, no matter where they go?
I totally agree with that. I have a daughter right now that's about to go to college. She's graduating this year, and that's a big thing on every college resume is community outreach. They want to see that involvement, and extracurricular stuff. Like You know, the more you're involved and the more things you involve yourself with, you know, the 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 better you're gonna be. You know?
Everybody's smart.
Because it's so
Right.
much better to give than it is to receive.
Right.
I
Everybody.
feel like everyone can agree with that.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm a firm believer that everybody is smart. We all are. No matter you believe what your level of intelligence is, the fact that some of us just put forth more effort into doing something, we are all equal. We are. Everybody on the face of this planet is equal. Does it mean that we all get to indulge in the things equally? If I work for my money and the person over here doesn't, are they entitled to the same perks I am? I don't believe so, because I'm trying harder, right? Now, is it up to me? Personal opinion. I mean, we all are entitled to it, but does that mean that I can't maybe encourage this person to try harder? Maybe
Well, I think
pick up their feet and
Well, I
move
think that's
forward,
what's great
right?
about, making, some of these, after school programs and, some of these community things that we can get going, because we're told, go to school, go to college, go get a job.
Yeah.
And you have to learn these certain things, and, you can't really stray from that. Well, yeah, maybe people aren't at the intellect level per se, everyone evenly, but, like you said, well, Johnny's good at football, so yeah, cool, awesome, go play football. And if you're amazing at football, awesome, play football. There's going to be people that want to tinker. There's going to be people that want to wood carve, but we don't give people that option to explore that stuff anymore, And what do kids do? I mean, it's a horrifying thought to hear that a lot of these kids, leave school and some of them go hungry for the weekend, and. Like, why is this a thing? I don't understand. So building, these small little community things that can help out the children and help out the adults at the same time. Because if we don't fix the adults, we aren't going to fix the children at the
Right.
same time. And we all are trained to think that we don't have options. Well, we can make options. It's very easy to make options. We just have to get together and put our heads together.
We're not teaching our kids today either to plan. We really aren't. We're too busy,
And
like in the moment, right? We just want we want it all now because of the devices that we have. Everything is instantaneous. Everything is just at our fingertips. But what happens when that thing dies in the middle of nowhere? What happens when you have no service? What happens? So we're not even planning for tomorrow.
Well, we don't even have to go far for that to happen.
No, I'm the worst. I'll tell you, I'm the worst one with money. Don't give me $3. Don't. I will spend all $3. I will. Don't give me a cup of coffee. I will drink the whole thing. Don't give me something because it will be gone. But I'm at that age I'm at that age now. I'm 26. Be quiet. I'm 26 years old. I know that I have a future. I need to start planning for that future. I need to tell my kids, look, when you have $3, put $1 away. You still got money in your pocket. What's going to happen in 5 years? Jake is great with money. Skylar's great with money. They didn't get that from me. So they got that from Jake's mom and grandparents, and so they have those instilled things. I'm the Lego guy. You give me $3, I'm buying Legos. That's what I'm doing. Got the diner. So that's what I'm doing. You saw the train.
Yeah.
The choo-choo. We got a passenger train. So, but really to push forward and instill those things in our children. We're not teaching them to plan. So, do you have a 5-year plan for this Comic-Con that is going? What happens in September when it happens? And you have more people than you're expecting. Because if people are watching here and we have people listening and people are getting excited about it, because not only is it on Facebook, but now it's on the radio, now it's on YouTube. What's going to happen when September comes where you're planning 200 people and 1,000 show up? And they're asking for next year. Are you prepared for that?
I think we will be, and I think what we could do is definitely, if people are excited about this, they should maybe help with it too. Encourage more helping, and
Involvement.
more involvement.
Yeah.
So I think that's what needs to be done. is to encourage, hey, if you think that it's going to be 200 people, but it ends up being 1,000, we definitely need more people to help run the show.
So let's throw a shout out. No matter your level of nerdism, if you are excited about something that you can dress up for, you can be passionate about, whatever it is, go ahead and hit this. What is the Facebook again? Facebook.com/.
Well, actually, if they go to Facebook and they go into the search, they can go at DNCL Con.
Okay.
They just do that in the search and it'll
At
bring it up.
DNCL Con.
Yeah.
DNCL Con. Con. And it's not like the rap, right? Not the rap. What a great movie.
Not Acorn.
Because of my dad, that is my favorite Star Trek movie. I like it. I can't stand the part where they put the little worms in the ears. I always look away. But who was it that played Khan? Do we remember?
Oh,
What was
I
his
can't
name?
remember his name.
Oh, he was amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful old man.
Yeah.
You know, that white hair just kind of flows, and the way his suit just kind of hung on him, when you knew that was a bad dude. That was a bad dude. That was like Tarzan's uncle that you didn't want to mess with. What do you mean you didn't bring nothing to the potluck? Let me go get some bananas. I'll be right back. Better bring chocolate with that. Okay, I got it. But you know, there's and those are the kind of people that we have, that we remember. I have an uncle like that. That was, you didn't want to mess with him. You respected him, and he was very, very
Seen, not heard.
yes, yes, and he walked
Like a
silently
pit
and
bull in the
yeah.
corner.
Yes, Duda. You know, and you don't. Maybe you need somebody like that. You know, maybe that character Azazel could be kind of construed as
One of them.
one of them. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing, going back to that is,
Sorry to get off topic.
he's super maniacal, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he has all that deep-seated stuff within him, and he's just awaiting time.
Have you read
awaiting time.
I haven't yet.
You know, he's
Oh,
just
it's so
awaiting
busy.
time. He's biding time, bro. He's not in any kind of hurry.
Nope.
This is what I was talking about the evil, and the good. The evil is all in your face all the time, right? The evil's all here all the time, but the good lies in the truth, which is in very dark places. You know, the truth always lies in the very dark.
I find it amazing that you're talking about this, because in the cosplay club, students are doing exactly that. They are oftentimes at the cosplay club, we'll watch cartoons and listen to anime. If anybody know about that, that is Japanese cartoons. They talk about how these characters are their mentors, how they talk about how they deal with adversity in life, and them in the cartoons having power and is less important as the truth is. Truth in those stories and your emotions are what carries the day, and that's honestly why students are wanting to go to this cosplay club, wanting to go to Comic-Con, because they see these idols and heroes that deal with emotions. I think that's why a lot of people like Marvel more than DC. Oh, I get that. But
I'm a DC guy.
I'm
I'm a huge DC
I'm a
fan.
DC
I'm
fan too.
Marvel.
Batman all the way.
You're Marvel?
preference everything.
Don't get me wrong, I love Marvel. I do, but I'm a bigger DC guy, and I think the reason is because I think Marvel stole everything from DC.
No, they did. They did.
Yeah, they did.
No, they straight up did,
And-
but they put a cleaner, better package on it. You know, like they marketed better.
And hey, I miss Stan Lee. Stan Lee is going to be kind of talked about for the next 4,000 years.
Yeah, I mean, he
It's-
created an entire universe.
He did. You
And
know?
he's in almost all of the Marvel
Yeah.
movies. He actually made a cameo in the Teen Titans Go movie.
Did he?
Yeah.
I have it at home on my
Well, I
shelf. I just
actually
haven't
heard that
watched it
they
yet.
pre-recorded a bunch of
Yes.
things,
Yeah.
Yes,
cameos
he's-
for future movies.
Right. So he did his thing for Captain Marvel, Endgame, and I think Spider-Man. I think he was able to get in for
Far
Spider-Man.
From Home.
Far From
one? Yeah.
Far From Home. Yeah. I think he was able to do that one. But yeah, I'm a bigger DC fan. I really am. There's just so much more to DC, and people don't want to really kind of open up to it because Marvel is the Pepsi and
It's
DC's
Disney.
the Coke.
Well,
You know.
I have
What
to
do you
say,
mean? You can't get away from Disney.
you can run, but you can't hide.
Exactly.
We got you.
I think the thing with
That's
Marvel is they really built up their movies.
yes.
Their cinematic universe is not. I
Well,
mean,
they almost went
DC
bankrupt.
Yeah,
No.
but see, they didn't have the rights to do a lot of their characters at first.
No.
So they were exploring characters that were kind of like B characters or whatever until they were able to start using their,
Right.
know, their X-Men and all that, which they're getting back, by the way.
Yes.
I'm going to bring out my fandom. So, for me, it's that difference between human emotions. Like in DC, you're dealing with, well, it's weird to say this, in science, in facts. And when you deal with Superman
thank
and
you.
Batman, they are dealing with adversities and in terms of global scales. With Marvel, I have all this power, but I have emotional issues that I'm trying to deal with. And I can't get to my greatest power because I'm having this emotional breakthrough. So as a child, it was like, pick my treasures. Like if I want to deal with, how do I deal with global warming? I look at Batman because he can solve that in a day. But if I'm looking at Captain Planet, right? But if I'm looking at why is the world the way it is? I'm looking at Marvel because I'm looking at how, honestly, well, I'll say this. I like Green Arrow because he's a socialist. I'm just gonna say it. Green Arrow is my socialist dream. But
Oliver Queen.
right? Dealing with Iron Man, dealing with Stephen Strange, all of them, why did they get their superpower? Because something happened in their life so that they can become powerful. What are all the X-Men? How did they get all their superpowers? Because they went through some traumatic moment in their life to make them have powers.
Well, that's just basically teaching the esoteric. I mean, that's what Marvel is engulfed in, is the esoteric. They're causing a reaction to a primordial instinct within someone. So emotions trigger things like that, and in the esoteric and the occult, they use negative energy to create and manifest into this realm. So, I think Marvel just touches and has a lot more involvement in that. Granted, once again, it's the Disney influence, Yeah, the Disney. This isn't, it's the Disney. But when they sprinkle that, stardust on you, it can emulate the mind into anything. You know what I'm saying? So
I want to say that belief is our superpower.
yeah,
If we really think about it, faith
Yep.
and belief is our
Yep.
human
Your
superpower.
will is
Our
your
will.
superpower.
And when we start letting something or somebody take that from us, then we have no power, right? So where do we give our power to? Why are we allowing somebody to take our belief, take our will, when we don't want them to? Or maybe they're Azazel, maybe they're right there next to you and they're supporting you, but they're sucking that from you at the same
Exactly.
time. And is that, who is that good for? It's not good for us, it's not good for society. So, but can we tell those things? Again, there's those strings attached that we can't see. How do we cut those invisible strings? How? Is there a way that maybe if you need to go to a meeting, go to a meeting?
I'll tell you.
Please.
And I'm going to quote the late, great William Cooper. Until you learn the past, the more, or as it would say, I quote, the more you know about the past, the more you'll know about the future.
Correct. So
End quote.
if we,
So the more you know about what has happened, truthfully what has happened, not the textbook, not the written history by the winners, not the written history by the winners, folks, but the actual true history of our lineage and our life, as humans, then you won't see what's coming before you. because history repeats itself. And, you know,
Yep,
I know
sure
you've
does.
heard that. Everyone in this room has heard that,
Yes.
right? And now that I'm in my halfway up the hill, you know, I've seen it repeat itself already in my lifetime.
Yeah, right?
In my lifetime, I've already seen, you know, history repeating itself. So our job as people, I feel like you know, as a movement, need to really delve into what we are and where we come from, you know, because until we do that, we can't change the way we are. We're so programmed and inundated, you know, that we as a society just move forward in the blinder, you know, with the blinders on. Just I'm gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep doing this because this is what I was told was what to do.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna keep doing it, and I'm gonna keep perpetuating this to my children, and then their children, and then their children. So it's like, you know, we need to take that step back,
Right.
really learn who we are.
Well, it's like I was saying the other
Yeah.
week, you know, you said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So why do we expect, you know, like people in power to change? They never have.
Absolute
You know,
power
why,
still corrupts.
you know,
absolutely.
so
Still.
why don't we start, you know, scaling back, you know, not saying that we can't have all this great global things, but, you know, like, we gotta help, you know, the people around us, and then the people around them help the people around them, and then, you know, and then that spreads, and then it'll be, you know, but like, when we fix this community, guess what? That's gonna fix the communities around us, and
So the other day, I was listening to a couple of people talk, and they were talking about some of the most powerful things in the world. And somebody said something about the nuclear weapon was the most powerful, and somebody said no, this atom something was the most powerful. And I had to say, you're both wrong. And they both looked at me, and they were like, how can you say that? And I said, because the most powerful thing is a voice. Because your weapons only destroy. That's it. All they do is tear stuff down. We notice this when we watch elections, because they just destroy each other with their, you know, like it's nothing.
Mhm.
But the voice is the most powerful thing, because not only will it destroy, but it will also rebuild stronger than it was. And it takes somebody to be able to have that voice, right? So the other week we were talking, and I think it was on here, we were talking about, I said, those in power need to not be paid during these things. Then all of a sudden today, I see on Facebook in the news, it says that there's a bill being legislated about everybody in Congress, Senate, and the president, all the way down. Nobody would get paid if the government shut down.
That's good.
Sweet. Takes a voice. Whether it was me that started, I don't care. But I said it. I said it before a week or two before it happened. It took a voice. I don't care if it was me or not, but I said it. Right, and it's taking people so long to finally say, you know, why are they getting paid, but we're not? Takes that voice. Took a voice to tear down a wall in Germany. It took a voice to be able to stop World War II. It takes those voices. Why are we still now afraid to raise our voice? Because anybody else that has had a voice they've taken them away? If you know some truth, they take you away because the people aren't ready for the truth?
Well,
Is that what it is? People aren't ready for the truth?
yeah, that's the way they play it.
Well, once again, this is what I was saying about the character. The truth lies in such a dark place that most people aren't ready for it. You know, your average everyday person isn't really truthfully ready for the honest to God truth.
Yeah, what's going on, what has happened,
because
things,
if
you know.
people really knew what has happened and what is still happening and what will continue to happen unless we do raise our voice and we do, you know, stand up, then, you know, it's gonna get real bad.
Yeah. Well, it's been getting bad since
Well, think about it. We're trained as
40s.
people, you know, and I will say we are trained as people, and I know that sounds funny, but it's programming. Think about it. We are trained as people to not help someone that's getting hurt, but pull out our phones and take pictures or record it. Like,
well,
how
you know,
many
we gotta get those
times do you
2
see
million
these
views on
pictures
YouTube.
like people's kids like stuck in a silly situation, and they run and get a phone and take a picture of that first?
Yeah, the two
It's
kids
more
outside
important to
fighting
post a
each
other.
picture of that on Facebook,
Kid about
you
to
know,
hit
get
his-
some
hit
laughs,
into
maybe go
with a chair.
viral.
Yeah, like what is the society coming to? What really? The 80s. I told you the 80s were the best generation. Didn't I tell you that yesterday? He's like, no. The 70s was a flock of seagulls. Who cares? The 80s were where it was at. Right? There was a lot of things. I mean, we got electricity. We got the car. We had these things. Taco Bell came in. Things happened in the 80s that really pushed a movement. And unfortunately, the other thing that happened in the 80s and early 90s was the discipline issue. We weren't allowed to discipline our children anymore, right? Now kids are like suing their parents because, oh, he took my phone away. Took your phone away? There was a girl that called the cops saying that her dad stole her phone. You're 17 years old. You don't pay for your things. Somebody else does. And it's your parent. You don't get to, no. What was the society coming to? We can't wash our kids' mouth out with soap anymore because that's abuse. I used to have to buy a bar of lava.
Yeah.
Lava soap was amazing. You get used to it. I love spicy food because of lava soap. So there are good things and bad things. Not only that, but I kind of think I'm going to live forever because of lava soap. You know, those bacterial things get in there. It's a great immune booster.
It's not palm olive.
No, palm olive. To get around that though, there is a statute of limitations on this, I believe. But my stepson came home from school one day and got off the bus and said something very derogatory at 7 years old about a bleeping bus driver. And I said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "The bleeping bus driver. I can't wash your mouth out, but come here." So we went into the bathroom and he lathered up his hands and I said, "Lick your palm." And he did. He did not swear again.
Yeah.
Took that one time, knowing we are afraid to spank our children. We are afraid to, whatever. I understand if you backhand a kid, you knock a tooth out. That's wrong. There's a fine line between discipline and abuse. But when we start disciplining our children, teaching them right from wrong in that positive way again, we are going to have a much better society as well. People are too afraid to raise a voice, raise a hand, and raise their children. They're letting society raise it
Well, that's
instead
what
of them
it is.
raising it.
People have been. This goes back to what we were saying before. People have been taught now. You got to think the parents of the children now. These parents have been in a situation already where they've been perpetuated to allow the state to raise their children.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've already been separated from our parents. I'm a parent. You know what I mean? But as I was raised, I was separated because both my parents worked. I was a latchkey kid. So you come home, there's nobody home. What do you do?
Well, and you see mom and dad for 2 hours in the evening and 32 minutes in the morning.
Who's raising your kid? And it's like, it takes parents nowadays to really show a lot of initiative to be part of their children's lives, because if not, the state will take control.
And I'll get to that. When I work at a school site and I deal with students not doing well in classes, 99% of it is behavioral issues.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to sit down, be quiet, and listen to the teacher instructing.
Yep.
Now, I'm on the fence, of course, because I was a child who got reprimanded a lot, like to the point where it went to the negative. But I think we have lost what traditional punishment did for us. It restored our values,
Right.
and it had a restorative nature in it. That even like I'll speak my truth. When I was 5, I used to get belted as a kid with a studded belt. By the way, and I learned as I got older why my father did it to me, because
Exactly.
he feared that if he didn't do it now, it was going to be worse when I got older.
We're grown.
And so we live in a society where we're not, or when you are 18, you automatically become an adult.
Yeah.
There is no, well, this is the first time you didn't do anything wrong. Some people get that in this world, but most people don't. So if we go back to why we punished our kids in those ways, what restorative practices did we have in be honestly feeding your child because you made sure restoratively no one, a police officer didn't do it when he was 18.
Getting to spank children in school.
Like,
Yeah,
Bring it
I
back.
remember that.
like,
Bring it back. I'm sorry.
And I'll say this when I went to I went to a Calvary Baptist Christian school where I got swatted. And so yes, there is that question of how far and what do we do with our children. But I think we've lost why we did these things. What restorative measures was happening when those things happened.
There's a quote, it takes a village to raise an idiot. Right? We've heard that. I don't want that kind of idiot. In today's society, I don't. I'm very protective of who my kids get to go see who their friends are.
But it takes a tribe to create a village.
Yeah. Mic drop. So, you can go ahead and go now. Show's over.
And see.
And see. But how do you follow up with that? So the Super Bowl's this weekend. Let's go ahead and talk about Deflategate. I love Tom Brady.
I don't
Yeah.
watch football.
None of us here.
I'm
The
the
only reason I know
only
there's a Super Bowl going on is because my birthday's this weekend.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Groundhog's Day. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna see Ben's shadow. He always has. a
I'm
shadow.
learning new
Yeah.
things. Today's a day of knowledge.
My
I'm
shadows
learning
just
new
keep
things all day.
bigger.
Yeah, don't cut it this time. Please, no. We need it. We need
And
this.
then Bill Murray shows up.
Oh, that's the other thing. We got to go to Canada to meet Bill Murray.
No, you don't. Dude,
No.
we just need to have a cool party and he'll show up.
Crap.
Haven't you seen all these?
Everybody just needs to wear green shirts and they'll show up.
Documentary
The
on
documentary,
Facebook.
yeah. And
Netflix.
it's on Netflix about Bill Murray and how he just shows up at all these random places.
He
and
spends
just
a lot of
kicks
time
it.
in Charleston.
Yeah, Charleston.
South
My
Carolina?
sister, my
Yeah.
sister and parents.
Yeah, he has like his favorite bar and restaurant is there, and it's like he just shows up like he showed up at these kids' college dorm and just like did all their dishes.
Everybody I've wanted to
Hung
meet.
out.
Everybody I've wanted to meet has died before I got to meet them. Robin Williams, Princess Diana, Abraham Lincoln. The big ones. You know?
Abraham Lincoln.
No, the real Abraham Lincoln. I wanted to see what was really under his top hat. Maybe untie his shoes.
Well, don't you know what the top hat really represents? That's your homework for next week.
That's my. You know I'm going to tell you too. I got my notebook right here. Look, my notebook says Tom Cruise is the white Jackie Chan. Prove me wrong. He does his own stunts. He just broke some bones. Tom Cruise is the white Jackie Chan.
That's hilarious.
Posted. And isn't
That
it?
is hilarious.
If you really think about it, he really is.
He's
Tom
going to
Cru-
be in the next Karate Kid. No, I'm kidding.
Don't start that
Mr.
rumor.
Mr.
Mr. Miyagi.
Magwagi.
He's Mr. Miguado. It's Mr. Miguado. It's the Karate Kid. Okay, so my homework for next week, what the top hat really was.
And plan the party for Bill Murray.
Oh yeah, and then we got to meet Bill Murray.
Just
Plan a party.
Plan a party. We gotta plan a party.
Real cool party.
Top hat,
Plan a
man.
cool party, and Bill Murray.
Plan cool party.
Yeah, say everyone's invited but Bill Murray. And
He'll show up. All right, so Bill, you're not invited to the KFUG radio show next week. Don't even think about it. We won't have your favorite beer. End scene. So, thank you guys for showing up and helping us out with this, letting us help get the word out. I've been excited. I'm a huge fan of comic books and Comic-Con. I'd love to go to the San Diego Comic-Con. I'd like to go to the New York one, but it's in New York. So if they want to move the New York one to like here and call it the New York Comic-Con, that's great. I would go. I just don't have any plans on stepping foot in New York.
I guess Crescent City's kind of the shape of a half-eaten apple, right?
Yeah.
A bite out of it.
A bite out of
Well, that's not-
Crescent.
Let's-
Yeah, no, it's definitely the 33rd
Yeah.
too, you know.
Yeah.
CC 33.
See, I'm gonna be a hipster. I went to the Comic-Con Comic-Con in San Diego before school, and I think this Comic-Con can be better than the San Diego Comic-Con that is
What?
now. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna live up to that.
Okay.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
word.
No, I was writing down.
Comic-Con ever.
Oh,
First
yeah.
Comic-Con ever?
Oh no! I went to the Comic Con in San Diego. It was the 7th one, the 8th one, right when Iron Man came out. The one right after that, everyone started going to. I went to the one right before that where it was only like maybe 500 people there. They had real conversations about comics. Yeah, I like that one. This new one, like you said, the Disney. I think we can go back to what Comic Con, like the true essence of it is, and we can kind of do it better in Crescent City. I'll say that. I'll be the first one to say it. I admit it.
We need a couple of things we do need. We do need real comic book stores again. Again, I miss the 80s. The 80s was the greatest generation.
And vinyl.
Decades.
You know, sell
Ever.
comic books and vinyl records.
And we need a sports like hobby store. We really kind of do. And if we, excuse me, the gaming shop that's downstairs, Tsunami, is that what it's called, Tsunami Gaming? If they were to be able to turn that into something bigger, they would have more business. They don't sell HeroClix, HeroClick Nerd. They don't sell comic books, Comic Book Nerd. They sell gaming things that I don't do. So 2 out of 3 things they don't carry. If they were to carry more things, it would be great. In fact, speaking of carrying things, excuse me, Del Norte Office Supply is carrying Death to Lefties, my book. Also, the mailroom is carrying my book, and I'm taking a couple over to the Wild River Market. The cool thing is you can get an autographed copy at only one of the stores. And it is the only store that I will have the autographed copy, and that is Del Norte Office Supply.
I'm just saying, Del Norte Office Supply, not to interrupt you, they're awesome.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
I've been going there for like 8 years now. And the lady that owns it is phenomenal. The whole crew there is just so special, so happy. So, you know, I'm going to support my local business, and they're going to help me. If somebody wants to buy an autographed copy and you can't find me or whatever, you can go down and they have it there. And that's the only place that you can get it. So if somebody else says, "Oh, I got an autograph here," you know that it's a lie. It really is. And I'm going to keep it that way through my whole book series, the children's book and the poetry book. So the illustrator just got the poetry book today. So she's going to start working on it. We're going to have a nice little conversation probably in about an hour or so. Give her my ideas about things. And so we'll be having another book signing for that. And that one should be fun. Because that one is for Gateway education. So anybody that has done Gateway, wants to, parents, children, teens, make sure that you guys come out here for this because it is a huge thing. Huge. Gateway education is
It's amazing.
It is.
It's amazing.
It allows you
Shout
to,
out to Ron Cole.
Ron Cole, the guru. He's
He's a wonderful man. He truly is.
Amazing.
I'm not dandelion without him.
He does a lot for the community too. You know, we have to thank him for the beautiful disc golf courses we have, and you know, just the
Need some maps.
like Dandy was saying, you know, the Gateway Foundation helping with, you know, all the amazing things they do. You know, the children's garden. You know, I mean.
They do an acting
There's
camp
things-
as well.
There's things, yeah. It's
There's-
amazing. You know, he's an amazing person. Him and his wife are just, they're great people.
Ron and Kirsten are just phenomenal people.
Yeah, they are, and they, you know, it can't give nothing but love and appreciation and gratitude for people that, you know, do things like that actually show out.
Yeah.
They don't just talk it; they walk it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And they're-
that's what.
They're not just preachers, they're practicers.
Yeah, they practice. They practice what they preach.
That's right. And we don't have enough of those practicers that preach what they do. You know, it's a oh, here, I'm going to tell you this, but then I'm going to go do this. Well, why? Why is that okay?
Do what your grandpa always told you. Lead by example.
Lead by example. Yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. I need to get a couple of t-shirts made
Yeah.
that say lead by example.
Yeah, because when we're out picking up trash, we should be wearing shirts like that.
Yep.
You know,
Yes, sir.
And it's things like little things like that. It's what we're talking about. Simple acts of kindness change the world, people. You know,
Thank you,
and
Zach.
all we have to do is, you know, emulate our life around that. And once we do that, I'm trying to help you. You're trying to help me. He's trying to help him. He's trying to help her. Her's trying to help him. You know what I'm saying? So you're never gonna need then. If we had that reciprocation, where we're all just looking out for each other. And we have a small enough community here that we can really have that, you know? We only have, you know, small thousand, you know,
Yeah.
a couple thousand people in this community, you know? And, you know, with a number that small, we could really change.
Well, and that's
And-
what I
and-
was saying about the
and
whole
build a
veteran thing,
dynamic.
you know, you go into the
Yeah,
military,
exactly.
and then when you get out, you were in something where everyone had each other's backs. There
Yep.
was, you know, a sense of community, you were part of something, and then you leave that and you don't have that anymore.
So I just got done asking, what's the 5-year plan for the library's Comic-Con? What is our country's plan? What is our plan in the next 15 years when the US dollar is gone? What are we going to do? We are going to be then almost a united commune because our dollar isn't going to be worth anything. I've been doing some research, and since the 60s it's been going down. Now we're just a debt community. We're a debt society. What's going to happen? We're not planning for that. We're not even thinking about that.
Well, I don't think that your average everyday person is thinking about
No,
that.
they're not.
But
No.
there is a lot of things going on behind the scenes as
Sure.
far as us becoming asset-backed currency once
Mhm.
again. So they will do away with the fiat dollar. Fiat money will no longer exist. You will not, because all you're doing is taking a debt. When you take a dollar bill or American currency, you're taking a debt.
Pure debt-based currency.
Yes. So this is what I was talking to you about the other day. So, you know, once we move from the fiat currency into an asset-based currency once again, which we used to be upon, you know, I think the whole dynamic of what money really is changes, you know. And I think that's what is we have to be more focused on.
Right.
Not necessarily the money itself, but what in us changes when we're released from that debt talisman that you carry in your pocket. You know, when that energy is taken away from us, what we as people evolve to, when we have that debt society removed from us.
You're only allowed one mic drop per show. Per visit. That's it. 1, 2. So, and we only got a couple of minutes left. But thank you guys for showing up. Shane and Sean from the high school and from the library. You guys are
Technically, I'm Gear Up. I work with the high school. They would want me to say that.
okay. All right. Well,
Nice.
thank you.
With Gear Up? Yes, he's with Gear Up.
So, but yeah, thank you guys for being on the show and kind of helping us get another thing in the community going for people to get excited about. And that's what it is. Getting excited about something in your community. Del Norte County has something amazing. What else do we have going on? There's so much things. Valentine's Day is coming up. Do we have things going on in the community for that? What is going on for the long weekends for school, because we're going to have President's Day coming up, right? Easter Claus is coming. He's going to be here in like 2 months, right?
Actually,
Last
is
week,
it
Wabbit.
Yeah.
gonna be First Friday tomorrow?
Yeah.
First Friday?
And then tomorrow's First Friday.
Yeah.
So what's going on tomorrow? Anybody doing anything?
Well, the library is gonna be doing some crafts for the kids to make for their parents and stuff. So.
Oh, so
Sit up.
come down to the library and let your kids make some crafts. That's pretty cool.
And you can have a craft beer.
Oh yeah, Porta Pints I think has something going
I
on.
think Sequake and Porcupine, I'm not sure.
In Ateca, and we're naming all these places that are alcohol related. Is there anything that isn't alcohol
The
related?
library.
The library.
The library,
The
sure.
library.
The Child Care Council is also doing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Too.
So delnortecounty.com or .org. So we'll go ahead and Google it.
Well, and they usually have some, lovely people, vendors,
Yeah.
selling some of their wares.
And music.
Oh yeah, there's one of our
Just
dear
being
friends.
social. Just being social
Yeah.
with your,
One of our dear friends, Janae, she's down there at the farmers market, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna be out tomorrow night at the First Friday. So stop by her booth. She sells
tinctures.
and
Healing
healing medicine and sages.
Herbs.
I got one. If you are a parent of a high school student or you're a potential high school student,